Hello Northeasterly knitters, Skananigans here with another tutorial on how to knit the Northeasterly pattern. I got a lot of requests to show how the rows are initially joined for this pattern, and I'm sorry it took so long for me to get around to it, but I hope it's not too little too late. I have here my DK weight sample that I just put on waste yarn with my put stitches on waste yarn without a darning needle technique that you can see in another tutorial video on this channel. And I have cast on and knit a couple rows of my new column. For the first couple of rows, you do knit the new column separate from the original piece. I did that because I found it's hard to get these points to look really nice, and the very first stitches do tend to get warped if you try to pick those up and knit them onto the other piece. So there will be a gap at the very beginning of a couple stitches that are not joined for this pattern, but you will just use the ends to go back and weave those in when you're finished with the blanket. So I have this sample. I'm using Sweet Sparrow yarns in a few of her different bases. The colorway I'm working with is Peppermint Mocha, and I am going to show you how to initially join the rows of Northeasterly. So since I am knitting the DK weight or fingering weight held double gauge, I have this very messy little hand wound center pull cake of yarn. So bear with me. I know there's a lot of ends hanging out. It's not very clean, but this is more realistic to what you'll be dealing with as a knitter of this pattern. So here is my sample, and I have a little candy cane stitch marker, also by Julie of Sweet Sparrow Yarns, to designate the right side of my work. The most important thing when you join the rows of Northeasterly is to turn that down. You will be joining on the wrong side of Northeasterly. I did that because I tried and tried and tried to join on the right side, but I kept getting the beautiful seam that you end up seeing in Northeasterly on the right side of the work if I joined it on the right side. So I just started joining it facing the wrong side, and it's worked out perfectly since. Now you can see on this piece of work that I have done, you might not be able to see it actually. If you look very closely, hello, you will see the slip stitch right there. So this is the right side of my work. I am on a wrong side row, and I have knit 2 rows of the pattern so far, cast on and knit 2 rows of the pattern, and now I am ready to join. But first I need to knit a wrong side row all the way until the very last stitch. Hold please. All right, there's my slip stitch. So I'm just gonna do that. All right, we are getting there. There is the last stitch on our left-hand needle. Now, a very important thing that you need to do, since I did mention that we're going to have that gap when we join Northeasterly, is that you need to line up the garter ridges of each piece. I'm just going to slip that onto the right-hand needle as I show you this so I don't lose anything. You need to line up the ridges of each piece with each other, and then use that to choose what slip stitch to pick up. So I'm seeing here that I'm going to need to pick up this slip stitch in order for these 2 pieces to be as even as possible. So make sure, and it's hard to see when there's this little fabric, you can also knit a couple more rows if you feel more comfortable with that. You'll just have a little bit more of a gap to weave in. So I see 1 garter ridge, 2 garter ridge, and then the coordinating slip stitch is going to be right there. So what I'm going to do is put this stitch back onto my left needle. All right, and then I'm going to find that piece again. So there's the slip stitch on the edge of the first piece of work that I need to pick up, and I need to make sure I'm getting all of the strands of that. I see that I don't quite have it all. Sorry, I'm a little sniffly today. I got those seasonal allergies. All right, so next up I'm going to knit 3 together. Oh, it can be a little hard when you're working with double weights. Even I struggle with things like this. All right, there you go. So now you can see the 2 pieces are connected. Only by that 1 stitch, but so far they are connected. Now you'll find that this is a little woodgy at this point. Woodgy is one of my favorite words, and I'm going to show you the official spelling here on the screen. Yeah, it's one of my favorite words, and it's even more fun when you imagine it spelled like that. So it's a little woodgy. You're gonna have a little bit of trouble with it twisting a little bit, but don't worry, it'll all be okay. I find what's best, especially if that's bothering you, is to put it down on your lap or put it down on a table as you knit this next right side row, and just let it rest on the table so it's not twisting around in your hands. Make sure you slip the first stitch with the yarn in front, and then work the next bit of the piece and pattern. All right, there you have it. That is how you join Northeasterly at the very beginning of the column. I hope this was a helpful tutorial. Please like and subscribe if that is awesome for you. I am going to be posting more tutorials, vlogs, podcasts, all sorts of fun stuff on this channel, and I would love for you to join me. As always, thank you to Julie of Sweet Sparrow Yarns for providing yarn support for this pattern. Please check out her amazing yarns at Sweet Sparrow Yarns on Etsy, and look out for her forthcoming own website. It's going to be so exciting for her. I'm very excited. So yes, thank you so much for joining me for another tutorial, and watch this space for more exciting things. Bye!